Good morning, everybody. It is March the 15th, 9:30 a.m. in New York on the East Coast. This is Sunday Morning Coffee Talk. I am Jen, the GXSimmer. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome if this is your first time here. We've got a lot to talk about today. So much to talk about. And I know I missed last week, but that's because I was celebrating my husband's birthday. We took a 3-day break to celebrate. We had a really nice time. And now I'm back. And I cannot wait to talk about all the news that's dropped since the last episode of Sunday Morning Coffee Talk. And if you feel so inclined, hop on to our Discord. Link is at the top of the chat. Jump on, talk with us, share your thoughts, or use your fingers to type them out. The choice is yours. All right. So let's get into today's item number 1 on the list. We're going to talk about the laundry list and the March 17th update. Okay, so here we go with the laundry list and the March 17th update. All right. So now, first thing I need to let you know about, and this is really important, right before the update, make sure you back up your trays, your saves, your tray, your mods folder, anything important, your screenshots, anything important that you think is vital to your game. And the reason why is you never know how an update is going to affect your game. So you'll want to make sure that you clear, make those saves and make sure that they're in a safe place so that you can access them. Also, when you remove your mods, leave your resource config file in your mods. And also, when the update has completed, you want to check back with your favorite mod creators to make sure that they have instituted their fixes or updates for their mods. And then you should be okay. Install them one by one. You should be good to go. Let's talk about the laundry list. Lots of stuff here. And you know what? I was so tempted to jump on the mic while I was away. But you know what? I'm a firm believer that you need to spend time with your friends and family when you are on vacation. So that is exactly what I did. All right. So here we go. Laundry list. Top 5 most voted fixes. Extensive updates to ensure that Sims eye blinking will now show fully closed eyes for most interactions. See the blog post for more information on these changes. Okay, so there is a blog post. We will go over it. The prom once again appears on calendars and Sims will be able to attend. This fix will ensure it is working for both old and new saves. This drove me crazy. I really wanted to do the prom for the 5 Kids series and I couldn't do it, but now it should be fixed going forward. So you know what? Happy prom day, everybody. There's an issue where pet and horse data was being lost in pre-made households. Interesting. This will no longer occur in fresh saves. However, if this occurred in an old save, it will still be occurring in that instance. Okay. We've implemented a notable change to how Sims determine who they speak with on a lot. Now, Sims will generally prefer speaking with familiar Sims that they already have a good rapport with, and Sims are less likely to engage with strangers spontaneously. That makes me nuts like you wouldn't believe. It's like they're trying to have a private conversation and this random townie walks up and be like, hi, how you doing? Good thing they fixed that. Animals can be assigned to an animal shed after moving the household to a new lot. They no longer become stuck in household or sim inventory. This is also fixed for saves where the animals were already stuck. I didn't have a problem with this. I don't know if any of you did. If you did, let me know in the chat. All right, so we have Sims autonomy improvements. Sims autonomy is one of our key focus based on community feedback, and this update delivers on 3 of our top autonomy issues. Sims socializing with strangers, which we just talked about. Excessive flirting, I can't stand that. That drives me crazy. That has caused us so many problems in my Sims marriages. And Sims using certain objects excessively. I don't know, like the bar, for instance. So they've addressed the issue where Sims were excessively flirting with each other. Great. They heard your feedback and wanted to address Sims using computers and phones too often. Thank God. That makes me insane too. They've added a few new preferences to the base game, including likes phones, likes computers, dislikes phones, and dislikes computers. If you don't want your Sims to autonomously use these objects, please give them the dislike phones and dislike computers preference. If you want them to be obsessed, you know what to do. Perfect. Great. Okay, so if a Sim autonomously uses the computer, they will receive a cooldown on wanting to do this autonomously again for a half day. This is great. The cooldown does not exist for non-active household Sims, for Sims who are geeks, Sims who like computers, or when it is a preferred interaction for getaways, clubs, small businesses, or dynasties. Makes sense. I think that. I mean, if your Sim really likes to do something, why should you stop them from doing it? Okay. The Sims who dislike computers, a new preference we added. We'll never use them autonomously anymore. Great. Now, this is something all my Sims do, and because of it, their mischief skill has gone through the roof. I mean, almost all my Sims do this. Phoebe actually had the mischief skill knocked out before she was a young adult. And Phoebe, as you know, is in my series Young Widow's Journey, which is also returning. We're going to make a return on that, so keep your eyes peeled for that. The Troll the Forums computer interaction has been added to the same cooldown that is used for other computer interactions, unless they have the following Sims traits: evil, childish, geek, hot-headed, erratic, or mean, who always have it available. That makes sense, because these guys would probably want to do that more than others. If a Sim autonomously destroys a dollhouse, it will receive a cooldown on wanting to do this autonomously again for some time. We've also made a change so that only Sims with certain traits, evil, hates children, mean, hot-headed, will ever autonomously decide to destroy a dollhouse while angry. Before this update, the autonomous behavior could occur for any Sim who is feeling angry or dazed. Hello, you're on Coffee Talk. How you doing today? If you would like to make your voice known, please speak up. Okay, so let's go back. This is one that really makes me nuts. If a Sim autonomously makes a drink, they will receive a cooldown on wanting to do this autonomously again for a Sim day for non-NPCs. Previously, this would occur frequently for Sims who were inspired or Sims with the bro or foodie trait. The obsession with the bar drives me insane. You know, sometimes I have to take the bar away from them to get them to behave. And it really just makes me nuts. Let's hop back in. I was just checking chat for a second. Okay, so let's talk about the next item on the list. The violin. Oh, I'm sorry. We're going to swimming. If a Sim autonomously swims, they will receive a cooldown. Okay, so the same thing is true for a violin, except if they are music lovers Sims who dislike violins, or with the swimming obsession, during pool party or birthday parties when swimming is preferred action for getaways, clubs, or small business, or the Sim is a mermaid or plant Sim, that makes sense. If they play the guitar, they will also receive a cooldown. The exception is for Sims who are music lovers, Sims who like guitars, or when it is a preferred interaction for getaways, clubs, small businesses, or dynasty. Sims autonomously playing chess, same thing. This is for non-NPCs only, not applicable to clubs or getaways revolving around chess. Okay. Cooldown for Sims dancing while on a lot trait that a Sims owns. Sims who like dancing, dance machine trait Sims in certain situations will not receive this cooldown. Makes sense. This cooldown is non-active household Sims. This cooldown will disappear when Sims move lots in case they're going to a lot where they want to dance. Okay. Also, turning on the radio. Sims with the music lover trait will consider listening to music more often than other Sims. Okay, that's true of anybody. Through practically a staple of Sims culture, she's being cheeky there, we've added a cooldown for autonomous push-ups, sit-ups, and stretches. Wonderful. Finally. Great. Now only Sims who are energized at the gym venue or Sims with the active trait will consider doing this autonomously. Great. Cooldown for foodie Sims, watching culinary trading videos on the television where they won't do this autonomously for 2 days after doing it. Makes sense. You know, although I do watch cooking shows almost every day. I love cooking shows. I just got to say that. All right, if a child Sim autonomously uses the spaceship playground, they will receive a cooldown on wanting to do this autonomously again for a Sim day. This cooldown does not exist for non-active household Sims or when it is preferred interaction for getaways, clubs, or small businesses. Leaving the current lot also removes the cooldown. If a Sim autonomously plays with a lump of clay, they will also receive a cooldown or wanting to do this autonomously again for a while. Does not occur for creative Sims or Sims who like pottery. Okay. Discover University. The soccer ball. Oh, God. Every time they have a soccer ball in their inventory, they do this. So now they're getting a cooldown The cooldown does not occur for Sims who like fitness or household Sims. Okay, so if you've got a fitness-oriented Sim or an active Sim, this isn't going to apply. So keep that in mind. The cross stitch. All of my 5 kids in the last series all were obsessed with the cross stitch and were constantly cross stitching. They became expert cross stitchers. But now the cooldown is going to allow them just to, chill out for a while. It does not exist for Sims who would like cross stitching or when it is preferred interaction for a club. Okay, let's struck. Sims who will no longer consider playing thumbs up or the woohoo card game while in the middle of writing a book or computer. On the computer, I should say. That's good. Adventure awaits. If a Sim autonomously plays with the paper airplane, there will, the 5 kids as well in my series always were making paper airplanes constantly, all the time. And I just thought it was like a normal thing with the pack, but I'm glad they cooled it down. Spa day. If a Sim autonomously uses the yoga mat, I did not have this problem really, and I'm glad, but apparently it was a problem. It's now a cooldown. It does not exist for high maintenance Sims or Sims who like wellness. Sims must also be level 2 to autonomously use a yoga mat. Previously instilled, the cooldown is removed when leaving the lot and when it is preferred interaction for getaways, clubs, or small businesses. Movie hangout. A cooldown has been added to the popcorn popper. This drove me crazy. In fact, I made a note of it in the last, it was in one of the Nina and Amanda episodes. I want to say it was Getaway Gone Wrong, episode 17. If I'm wrong, please let me know in the chat. And if I'm right, please let me know in the chat. Okay, excuse me. A cooldown has been added to the popcorn popper so that it has been used by a Sim and that the Sim will not want to immediately use it again after some time. With 2 of our top community issues being around animals and pets, excuse me 1 second. I just got to sneeze. Okay, thank you for your patience. Appreciate that. All right, let's go back to the laundry list. Pets and animal fixes. With 2 of our top community issues being around animals and pets, we fixed a few other bugs also in this category to provide a better overall experience with these systems. Animals in the animal shed. Chicken coop, mini goats, and sheep no longer be multiplied. This was happening when these animals were placed into a Sim inventory, then back into the world. And after that, the Sims moved their household. Okay. Yeah, I had a lot of chickens. I will say that. A lot of chickens. I just thought it was in game. They addressed a handful of other important issues that were quickly rising, particularly problematic or easy fixes to get in. Base game. Sims with the unflirty trait will no longer get the ick when hugged. Yeah, that makes sense. Just hugging a Sim who may be unflirty is not going to trigger that ick. Placing a painting on the wall and then returning to the Sim's inventory will no longer result in a simulation error. I didn't get that one. Did you guys? I never saw that one. Seasons. Flowers will no longer get stuck mid-air while crafting a flower arrangement. Now, I know a little about Bub said she had an issue with this. I never saw this myself, but again, I don't play with flower arranging that much. So, again, because I don't see it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. And I know that this has been a problem for a lot of Simmers that I've heard as well. For rent, the due inspection and maintenance interaction is now available on broken objects in a tenant household for landlord Sims. This is one of the reasons why I do not play with for rent most of the time, because I cannot stand the events constantly going off the way they do. And I can't stand the fact that when the landlord comes over, the landlord's not doing anything. So what's the purpose of landlord coming over if they're not going to do anything? And I have reported that, and I have upvoted it. So I'm glad to see that this is being done. Life and death. We've adjusted design elements of some of our swatches for the ornate mystery run, which was concerning to some players. That really doesn't bother me that much. But again, all because it doesn't bother me doesn't mean it doesn't bother someone else. So we need to take that into account. Royalty and legacy. There was an issue where the updated family tree could cause wrong connections and overlapping, which has now been fixed. I know in my family tree it appeared very strange, and that's basically because I have, how shall I say, interesting marriages. We'll just leave it at that. If you know the storyline of Nina and Amanda, you know what I'm talking about. All right. So we also fixed a crash that could occur when resuming the game after deleting the Cap household in Ondarian. Interesting. Ondarian's Verdemore lot is no longer reversed. I didn't see that last time I was there. Another interesting one. Parenthood. Child and teen Sims who grew up in the same household but weren't related could get the super sibling relationship despite not being related and could later romance each other. Yeah, that's the premise of Nina and Amanda right there. Because that is actually what happened. The whole thing, the whole reason why this started, why I got the idea for the show, was when Nina's father died, because all of this was based on my actual gameplay from a couple of years ago. When Nina's father died, she was brought into the household by her aunt. And Nina and Amanda were already best friends. They were already good friends. They were, inseparable, all that. So that was already happening. But they introduced high school years. Amanda developed a crush on her cousin's daughter. And at first I was like, what is this going on? And I didn't like it at all. But another thing that happened with this was it gave me the idea to do the gameplay like that. And I just leaned into the gameplay. And I saw something in a video recently. I believe it was Catchy Virus that said this. And if it is, I will put the link in the description to give a shout out to Catchy Virus. Basically, the idea is that some of the gameplay is based on just the game kind of influencing certain factors, let's say. So basically, what we're seeing is the game may be just giving us certain indications that we may want to lean in that way. Whoops, sorry. Don't want you to see that. It doesn't matter if you see that. That's okay. That's just the YouTube studio. All right. So with that said, one of the things that I have seen in a gameplay is that the game does sometimes influence what direction you're going to in the gameplay. And that's one of the reasons why I decided to lean into the Nina and Amanda storyline, because the game did influence it in a way. And I kind of got the idea in my head and it went bing, and I said, oh, what about this? This happens instead. And just see where that goes. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to start the Let's Play, because I really enjoyed that gameplay. And I was like, this could be a really great story, and I really want to share it with people. So that's one of the reasons why I did that. But also in the process of this, the other Sims in the household, mostly Leah and Jada, who grew up in the household too, they got the super sibling trait because they viewed Nina as a sister or an adoptive sister. And in a way she was, because they took her into the household. Robert basically became the father to Nina, even though he was her cousin. He was older and he watched over her. Same thing with her, aunt watching over her, and Robert's wife is too. So they had that super sibling sentiment that developed because of that. But the two kids were kids, whereas Nina and Amanda were the same age. So they were actually, in effect, second cousins, because I believe to be second cousins, you have to be of the same generation. If you're not, then you're either first cousin once removed or something to that effect. I don't know the whole dynamic of it, but if you do, let me know down in the comments. All right, so we've already gone on a tangent about that. Because we didn't want to prevent stories where children could possibly be in the same household at one point while not related and in a relationship, we decided to fix this by renaming the relationships to childhood besties or childhood frenemy. That works. That works. Strangerville. There should no longer be a script called fail arrow when the plant containment cells cell is on the lot and the player tries to place other objects. Okay, cast and build mode tagging updates. We had the opportunity to address a large swath of simpler tagging bugs, making cast and build mode sorting more accurate overall. Here are the issues we fixed. Okay, here we go. There's a lot of them. All makeup that was in the everyday category has now been added to both hot and cold weather outfit categories as a sorting option. Okay, good. We've sorted 43 existing items under the kids decoration category. Various lights that were previously considered wall lights have been sorted into the lighting outdoor lights build mode category. Cute Crater Basket is now sorting under objects by function kids decorations. Updated swatch color for, I'm not saying that, to appear more accurate. The other one will skirt pleated will no longer appear for masculine sim frames. The pencil holder has been sorted into clutter objects. Okay, so these are basically about the various objects. And if any of these are important to you, I would say go to the Sims.com, look under news and updates, and you can read the full laundry list. I also like the fact that they updated a large amount of love seats and benches to properly be identified as benches. And it just looked like a lot of other things in terms of the objects and clutter have been updated to properly display the way they should. Okay, updates on top community voted issue. As part of our investigation to save corruption, this is a big one I want to cover. We began gradually relocating scratch files from the documents folder to app data on PC back in January. This change was designed to help prevent conflicts from cloud backup services, and we rolled it out in phases so we could carefully monitor the impact. The transition is now complete for all PC players. Since the rollout has completed, we have observed improvements in infinite load occurrences just shy of what we classify as statistically significant shift, which is a great step in the right direction, and observed improvements thus far are encouraging. Our team continues to investigate our other community concerns for future fixes. Please note that some topics can be complicated to replicate and require extended investigation on our end. So even though they're actively reviewing, it is not a guarantee that we'll have an immediate fix for it in the upcoming patch. This includes the following top voted issues: player redundancy solutions, which would add more long-term saves in our recover feature. We are currently testing these solutions and plan to be providing more information in the future. To learn more about our current implementation of the recover save feature, please see our instructions here. Sorry, I was getting a little, my voice was starting to go a little bit. Let me just grab some coffee, because this is coffee talk. That is good coffee. I have to credit my husband for that. All right, so they have been investigating adding safeguards in the game to check against inappropriate sibling relationships with spouses or fiancés. Despite a heavy focus to reproduce the issue, we're still struggling to reproduce this naturally through gameplay, and the saves we received here have already issues occurring in code. Even if this has been updated to UI yet, what players can see. This has made it particularly difficult to nail down a preventative fix. These safeguards would fix it after it occurs rather than preventing it, so we're being extra careful with our approach for this and need more time and thought to get it right. We've been investigating a handful of black photo texture. This to me is a major thing. I can't tell you how much this drives me crazy. Now, the good news is if you have a previous save where this has not happened, one of the things I can tell you as a workaround is to build a room, make a copy of your photos, and put them in this room, and then upload it to your library. So that way, if it does happen again, you have this backup of your photos that you can just take, pull out, and pop your photos back in. We have been investigating a handful of black photo textures that were recently reported after the February patch. We have been able to verify that none appear to be newly introduced issues, with most going back years. Wow. This means most of our recent fixes have made progress towards cutting down on the number of black photo issues that exist in-game. This is important to clarify so we know if we're breaking things with our fixes or making progress towards fully eliminating all instances. Thankfully, it's the latter. Each issue has a unique set of steps to reproduce and has equally unique a fix required. At this time, fixing the remaining black photo issues is one of our highest priorities and highest prioritized areas of focus. Absolutely. Absolutely, I agree with that 100%. And let's get to another one that drives me crazy. This one absolutely absolutely makes me nuts. We know that infants and experiences you have been playing with them are one of the top areas of community concern. We currently are investigating a bunch of different infant bugs, including Sims picking up infants from the cribs and putting them down on the ground, check infant interactions happening too frequently, and more. These are particularly difficult bugs to address, so we're hoping to be able to make progress and update you on them soon. Okay, so at least they're aware of it, they know it, they're working on it. And that is encouraging. And I have to say that overall, the transparency from the Sims team has been improving steadily over the past year. Now, there are others that are going to disagree with my statement and say, no, it's just they don't care. They don't care. That, I think, is the furthest from the truth. I think overall, the Sims team does care about how we feel about the game. They do care about the issues that are important to us, and they are doing their best to address these issues. The Sims team, you can't be angry at them for who their employees are. They work for EA. They have to follow EA's guidelines. That's just a given with any company that you work for. And that's one of the reasons why I continue to support the Sims team, because I've been a player since the first Sims game launched, and I've played in every iteration of the game thus far. So I will continue to support the Sims team because this is my game, and I'm going to stick behind it. So I just wanted that to be known as well. Now, getting back to this right here, and also let me just say this to certain channels that I've heard a little chatter about. You shouldn't be knocking players for supporting this game. You shouldn't be doing that at all. I understand that you may not agree with who bought EA, but don't knock players who support them. That's just wrong. All right, now back to the laundry list. Okay, so here we go. And honestly, that's another reason why I've done this podcast, is I'm going to call out things that when they need to be called out, because I believe that you need to speak your mind, but you should do it in a tactful and respectful way. And that is one of the reasons why I've not called out the channels that they know who they are doing this. And even though they may have, I don't know, a million subscribers, 300,000 subscribers, when you do that, you really don't deserve them at all. All right, so I'm just going to go back to here and jump right back into the game, into the laundry list. Okay, so another important community issue is the situation where build mode items can become unplaceable, new objects disappear immediately, and existing objects cannot be moved or deleted. We believe we have a fix, but it will still need testing to verify, so stay tuned. Okay, so we're going to check into chat real quick and see who's in our chat. We don't have anybody in our chat. That's okay. We're going to hop into Discord real quick, see who we've got in the Discord. Is anybody hanging out in Discord? Let me know. Hello, you are on Sunday Morning Coffee Talk. How you doing? I guess we didn't have anybody. Okay, let's jump right back. Okay, so again, if you want to jump onto our Discord, link is at the top of the chat. Hop right in. Voice chat is open. Love to hear from you and love to hear what you think about what we've talked about so far. All right, so let's get back in. They've also noticed there are an array of comments and posts concerning various sleeping issues that are very highly rated with the community. As simulation remains a top area of focus for us, we're planning to address these concerns holistically with another set of fixes pertaining to Sims sleeping, which brings us to Sims Direct Communications. Now, if we look here, we're going to rewind this from the beginning so you can see a couple of things that they are talking about, which is prom now appears on the calendar. And they also have the eyelids. They fixed a little bit. They also have the animal interactions that you can assign to the shed. Obsession over objects. which is good. Everybody and the mother in the conversation. Okay, so that looks really good in my opinion. Okay, so what are your thoughts and feelings on what we discussed today about the laundry list? And remember, on the update, make sure you back up your saves, your tray, your screenshots, your mods. Take your mods out, as a matter of fact. Just leave your resource config file. And once the update has taken place, check back with your favorite mod creators to make sure that they've implemented fixes needed and you're good to go. All right. Now that we've talked about that, let's talk about the other item on the list, which is, I want to talk about the Sims Marketplace. Now, there has been a lot of mixed feelings about the Sims Marketplace. And I really wanted to talk about this over the weekend and really, get your opinion, see what you think, and see if you think that this is a good thing or not so good thing. So let's read into this a little bit more, because this happened while I was on vacation and I really wanted to talk about it then, but you know what? I was with my family and I decided that is what my priorities were going to be. My priorities were going to be with my family. So let's go and talk about the marketplace. Okay, so the marketplace is a new place that has started with a program called the Sims Maker program alongside the Sims4 Marketplace. New in-game platform designed to support custom content creators, help more players discover their work alongside all Sims4 content. Now, the Sims Maker program is a new initiative that allows creators who specialize in custom content to publish officially to the Sims4 in-game marketplace. This introduces new ways for them to earn while bringing fresh content to all players around the globe across every platform. Okay, first look at that. I have to say that I think this is a tremendous opportunity for custom content creators, because one of the things custom content creators love most of all, in my opinion, and this is only my opinion, but based on speaking with several content creators, I can say that they love when they're featured in game officially. They love when they have a kit that they've designed, and they love when they can share that content with players who may not have access to custom content, i.e. console players, for example, like my good friend Candy Coated Sims, who does excellent storylines, by the way. Check her out. She's really great. So when it comes down to players like that, one of the biggest problems players who are on console have had is that they can't access custom content. They're not able to get all the good stuff that PC and Mac players are able to access, like mods and CC. And this is a way for these players to get this content, and not only just from the Sims team themselves, but from well-known content creators. And this gives content creators a chance to market to that segment. Now, yes, we have heard complaints about Sims creators who signed up for this and then were like, no, I don't want any part of it. I'm not going to call them out because that's not what this channel is about, and I won't do that. But there are certain content creators who have said, I don't like this, I'm not going to be a part of this, I'm going to bow out, and they have. They have. And if, like I said, I'm never going to fault somebody for feeling the way they do about anything, politics, life, business. That's their decision, and you need to respect that decision. So I do. But I also think that to find fault with content creators who are in this program is absurd, because they, like you, have an opinion, and they, like you, are allowed to express themselves in any way that they should choose to do. And as long as they're not hurting anyone, and as long as they're not doing anything mean, malicious, or, whatever, That's the bottom line. So let me go back into this and read this a little bit more. So the Sims4 Marketplace is a brand new in-game destination where players can discover, purchase, and play with official maker packs, as well as expansion packs, game packs, stuff packs, and kits created by the Sims team. Okay, so this is interesting. And also, just to counter this, this kind of falls in line with what some of the leaks have said. Now, when it comes to the leaks, I take them with a grain of salt. Even when it was, Anadias. Anadias, in my opinion, got some things wrong too. But most of the time, he was right, and I do have to say that. But some of these leakers that are now saying certain pieces of information that resemble what has come up in the news officially from the Sims team has me thinking that, okay, well, this could be good and this could be not so good. But if it's something that's a lot more conducive to the player than the EA app is, I'm all for it. If it's something that can make management a lot more easier for me to play and for me to manage, that's something that I can look forward to. Now, this is where I kind of have a little about Moolah. Okay, now Moolah reminds me a lot of the Sims points that were in the Sims 3 store and the Sims 2 store before that. You guys don't remember there was a Sims 2 store where you could get some content for extra money, and there was a Sims 3 store. And I admit, back in the day, I did quite a lot of shopping on the Sims 3 store. Because there were certain things I really liked on it. Now, the Sims 3 store uses the points. Moolah is about the same thing for the Sims 4. Sims 4 virtual currency can be used to make purchases of maker packs and the Sims 4 kits in the marketplace. Purchases of maker packs support the makers. Now, this is something that I can 100% get behind because I do believe in supporting content creators. I do personally support a few content creators. So when I have the chance to be able to support them in-game, as part of a game, I will do that. And it's going to launch on PC and Mac on the 17th. That's when they plan to they're going to also roll this out to PlayStation and Xbox in the next couple of months. So console players will be able to access this as well, but it's going to launch on PC and Mac as first on the 17th of March, which is this upcoming Tuesday. And I plan to look at it, and we will talk about it on next week's episode of Cawfee Talk, because I really want to see what you think about it, and if you've tried it out, and what your opinions are on it. This is also, I hope that this is a way that we can gift out certain things. For instance, if I want to buy a kit for one of my friends, I can do that through here. Because right now the way to buy kits is so clunky and so difficult. You either have to go to Amazon to buy the code, or you got to go to Steam to buy the code, or you got to go to Instant Gaming to buy the code even. And even then, you're not even sure you can get the code because it's only a certain number of codes that they have. So I hope that they've also incorporated a way for us to be able to gift these items. That's a big sticking point with me, and I'd like to see that reflected in the marketplace. If I can gift a lot easier, I'll do that. If I can do a giveaway without being part of the Sims Creator Network, even though I would like to be part of the Sims Creator Network, just want to throw it out there, I would like to do that and be able to help my community and also reward my community in certain ways. So I hope that that's something we can do as well. Now, this is an intentional evolution of a multi-year strategy to support custom content creators, expanding from co-developed kits to creator kits, and now the Sims4 Marketplace and the Maker Program. This has been thoughtfully built over the past few years to expand the reach and celebrate these incredible creatives. I agree. I believe any chance we get to be able to support these incredible custom content creators, these incredible mod creators, I'm all for it. I really am. And if it makes them extra money on top of what they earn from Patreon, yes, I am for that 100%. And some people will say, yeah, but you come from a business background and you're probably this or that. Well, you know what? I hate to break it to you, but being a business means that you want to try to make new ways of earning revenue. I mean, that's just the whole purpose of having a business. And you may not like that, but that's the reality of that. So when it comes to celebrating these creators and giving them a chance to earn some of that money, yeah, I do think that's a good thing. And I will say that publicly. I do think that's a good thing, and I do support these creators. In fact, two of my favorite creators on there are SixMCC and Little Bob Bub. I cannot wait to see their maker kits, and I probably will buy them. All right, so let's jump into the next part of the article, which is let's talk about the makers and the maker program. At the heart of the new in-game marketplace are the makers. Makers are community specialists who design custom content to help you express yourself in new ways. They bring new perspectives and ideas inspired by how they love to play. Exactly. Through the Sims Maker program, accepted makers can earn by publishing new creations directly to the marketplace, reaching Simmers around the world through an officially supported platform. Okay, so over here we see a screenshot from Perry Sim. That looks really great. I gotta say, I probably would put that living room in my game. Nice. Maker Madeline. I'm thinking this is a cast kit, maybe. XMCC, light switches, interesting. Like that a lot. But Six, I love his content. Anytime Six has, I mean, there's this, I'm gonna go see if I can see it on Patreon. Probably can't see it right now, but let me just switch out real quick to Patreon. And Six, I love his content. Anytime Six has, I mean, there's this, I'm gonna go see if I can see it on Patreon. Probably can't see it right now, but let me just switch out real quick to Patreon. And okay, there we go. It was Patreon doing that. Okay, so I was just like, what is going on here? Okay, so let's look at SixMCC real quick. And I really wanted to talk about this today because this has been making the rounds on YouTube. Ocean talked about it the other day. Not really the other day. I would say more or less a week ago. But this is just phenomenal. Just phenomenal. And let me just see if I can see it. No, I can't see the picture. All right. But I can see if I can see this. All right. So I'm going to just kill the sound so I can show you. This is Ocean's video that she did with SixMCC. So I'm going to go here real quick to Patreon. And I want to show you this real quick. And I will put the link down in the description just to show you. So I just want to get to the part where, so this is how the mod arrives. You've got these boxes and there's different swatches for these boxes. This is all the content that comes with it, which is absolutely phenomenal. And once you're done, I just want to show you. You can actually, I just want to see if it's in the process of building. Okay, there we go. When they're going to show building, let me just go a little further. Okay. So this is how it starts out. Basically, you open the box, you've got all these pieces. I love this. This is phenomenal. And you put the crib together. And I cannot wait to do this. And just to let you know, when I saw this, the first thing I was thinking about was season 4 of Nina and Amanda. And that kind of gives you a little spoiler. I think everybody knows the spoiler by now. Anyone who is a fan of the show knows that there's a major character coming very soon. And it's going to involve SimCC's new mod. So I cannot wait to use that when I start filming in June. And I really hope to do that. And of course, if you want to see Ocean's video, I will pop the link in the description. In fact, I'll do that right now while I'm doing that, so that you can see Ocean's video on the and the review on the mod. If I can find it. Okay, there we go.
This was an expensive crib, okay?
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just copy that, and I'm going to put that into chat. And this is Ocean's video on Build the Crib from SimCC. And I'll also put this up on Discord as well. And my dog wants to be let out. Thank you, hon. My husband is so good to me. All right. So that is the Maker program. Let's just jump right back into that because I still want a lot to cover. And we are going to jump back and forth and do a lot more discussion on this because I really want to discuss this. I want to get your thoughts on this, see what you think too, and see if you think that this is a good thing, a bad thing. Are you going to participate in the Maker program? Are you going to hold off? What do you think? Let me know. All right, so let's jump back into this right now. I'll put this back on the screen. Okay, so now, getting back to the Maker program, makers have creative ownership of the work and decide how the content is packaged and priced within Marketplace guidelines. Okay, that I like. That I like a lot. The creations are offered as Maker packs, which are create a sim and or build by items created by a maker. So basically it's object stencils, create a sim stencils, build stencils. Okay. And then the Maker suite looks like that. And that's the stencil library. Makers are supported by our new Maker Suite, which provides official tools, resources, and clear guidelines to make sure the content is compatible and plays smoothly in The Sims 4, all while staying true to the individual style and creative vision. All Maker content is reviewed to meet the Sims safety and community guidelines, guided by our Positive Play Charter. While Maker content may look different from the content made by the Sims team, that difference reflects the creative freedom makers have to express their unique style. If you're interested in becoming a maker, you can apply through the site. The link is right there. You can go to sims.com under news and updates, and you'll see this article about the Maker program. You can apply there. I will also copy the link, pop it in the description for you in Discord, and also on YouTube. So you can follow that up if you want to get involved with the Maker program. So now, it will be launching March. Maker program has already started launching. It was launched on March the 5th, and the marketplace will be open on March the 17th, along with the new update that is coming through from the Sims team. Now, let's talk about the marketplace itself. The marketplace brings maker-made content into a trusted, officially supported platform available directly in-game in The Sims 4. Inside the marketplace, you'll find maker packs, including creative sim items, built by pieces, and themed collections. The Sims 4 packs and kits will also be available on the marketplace. When you purchase maker packs, you are supporting the makers behind it, recognizing the time, care, and creativity they bring to The Sims. Your purchases provide an official, structured way for makers to earn revenue from their work. Okay, so for instance, you would go to the marketplace, you would see something you like. This is very similar to the way the Sims 3 store worked. And instead of points, you have moolah. And then I suppose you can go in and, add moolah to your account, whatever, how much it is, like $20 worth of moolah, however. And it'll break it down for you. So this is interesting. Wow, already a couple of great content creators on this. I cannot wait to see this thing in action. This is almost going to be like CurseForge, but again, CurseForge does have some things that are free, and you also have the ability to support creators on CurseForge like you do on Patreon. And Patreon, same thing. You have free content, you have paid content. This is all paid content, but again, this is something that I do think is a good thing. I do think it's good that content creators are able to earn some revenue from this. And some people say that the Sims team only targeted content creators that, for lack of a better word, would jump at anything for money. And I disagree with that 100%, because I think I see some of the names here, and I don't think they're hurting for the money in the least. But again, this is another way to market their content, whether it is for console in a couple of months or PC. You now have a place that this content can be shared universally with in the Sims community. And this is only a good thing for console players. And who knows, maybe they will make some things free. I think that, every so often they do make a kit free for us. And we've seen that with the Desert Bloom kit. We've seen that with the Bloomin' Rooms kit. We've seen that a couple of times where they've made kits free to Simmers. And who knows, they may make some kits free through here. So all because you see everything being priced does not mean that they may not offer some free kits once in a while. And I do think that that would be a good thing if they did that, because I think that would be a good way of building trust back with the community. And it would also show that, they hear what others are saying. And when I listen to, and I'm going to be honest, I listen to both the positive and the negative when it comes to what's being said in our community, because I think it's important. You just can't listen to one side all the time. You have to listen to other sides too, to make an informed decision. I do that certainly with life. I will always listen to two sides of a story, because that's the way that I was brought up. So when I hear what some of the negative Simmers are saying, I can see their point of view as well, as much as I can see the positive Simmers and what they're saying. So I do think that this is going to take some time to win them over, and it may never, and that's a possibility. But I personally think that this is beneficial. I think that this is a good thing that's happening in the Sims community, and I do think that this will benefit content creators. So I'm actually on the side of this. Okay, so getting back to talking about the marketplace, we're going to hop back into the article. All right, Marketplace is fully integrated into The Sims 4, making it easier than ever to play with new content. Curated collections, improved discovery tools to help you find creations that match your playstyle. With seamless loading, you can add maker-made content and The Sims 4 kits into your game without worrying about compatibility or restarting. The Marketplace does not replace free content. Makers may continue to offer free or paid early access custom content and mods on other platforms under our mod policy. However, content made available elsewhere is not eligible for sale through the Marketplace. That's interesting. Okay. The gallery and base game updates will also continue to offer free creations, features, and improvements for all players, just as they do today. And then As we said, Moolah supports makers. The introduction of Moolah, a virtual currency, allows The Sims 4 to support maker content that is available to all players across every platform. It provides a safe, simple, and secure way to purchase maker packs while enabling makers to release new content on a regular cadence. You'll be able to purchase Moolah through your preferred platform store. Once in your wallet, you can use the marketplace to purchase and download maker packs as well as kits created by the Sims team. Players can still purchase official expansion packs, game packs, stuff packs through their platform's marketplace with standard currency, just not with Moolah. Okay, so you don't always have to use Moolah to buy expansion packs, game packs, or stuff packs. And it's interesting they said stuff packs because we haven't seen a stuff pack in a long time. So who knows? Maybe a stuff pack is coming. I would really like that if that was the case. But the Moolah will directly influence and pay out to the creators, which is great. More choice for players from your favorite makers. Creative freedom, accessibility, and trust have always been central to The Sims. By giving makers an official place to share their work and giving you an easy way to discover and support it, the marketplace stays true to the values that have shaped The Sims for decades. For the first time, players on console will be able to access, I don't know what's wrong with my voice today, official custom content directly in-game. At its core, the marketplace is all about giving you more choices and supporting the makers whose creativity continues to shape how we all play The Sims. As The Sims continues to evolve, our focus remains the same, celebrating self-expression and building the future together as a community. We can't wait to see what you and our amazing maker community create next. Marketplace launches in-game PC and Mac on March the 17th, which means on next Coffee Talk, we're going to dive into the marketplace. We're going to check it out. I'm going to tell you my opinion on the finished product, and we will go into more detail about it and get your thoughts and opinions as well. Okay, so when the marketplace goes live on PC and Mac, kits will move out of existing storefronts and become exclusively available in the in-game marketplace for Moolah. Any kits you already own will remain in your library and ready to play. For console players, this change will happen when the marketplace launches on your platform, and we'll share updates ahead of time so you'll know what to expect. Okay, good. Now, they have also included a fact. So if you have any additional questions, you can go through this. We're not going to go through the entire fact because we just went through the entire article. But again, if you want to read this article, I will put the link up on the chat and also on Discord, and you can check it out when you would like. All right, let me just switch back to me for a second. There we go. And that is the marketplace in a nutshell. Okay, so what are we thinking? How do you feel about this? Are you happy about this? Are you indifferent? Do you think this is a bad idea? Let me know down in the comments. My feeling, I'm in favor of this. And I just don't, and I'm not saying this because, I would like to apply to be part of the EA network eventually. Sims Creator Network eventually. I say this because as a longtime player who has played every iteration from Sims 1 to now, I think that this is a good way to reach players. And there's an old saying, you can't please all the people all the time. You can please some of the people some of the time, but you can't please all the people all the time. So some people are going to like this, some people are going to hate this. Some people are going to say terrible things about this, and some people are going to say, well, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. My initial feeling, because I do belong to a lot of Sims groups that are not people who are online, do not have channels. These are just average players who just get out there, they play, sometimes they share their screenshots and whatnot. The initial reaction that I'm getting there is that people are excited about this. People like the idea of doing this. And they like the idea that they can get their creators' content in a new way and support the creators. Certainly I feel that way. I would love to support creators any way I can because I think they do a phenomenal job and they should be applauded more. And I like that the Sims team is giving these creators that opportunity. So I am in favor of this. I do think that this is a good thing. And there's going to be people who are going to take what I say and be like, Yeah, you always say positive things about the Sims team. You never say anything negative. Well, go back and watch my podcast, the GXSimmer podcast, which used to be called, with a special segment that I ran called Sims Team, What the Hell Are You Doing? And you will see that I was not actually as positive as I normally appear to be. But one of the reasons why I've been so positive about the Sims team lately is I really do think they are making an effort to be transparent about fixes, to give us the content that we want. And this is important. This is important to the community, and they're addressing community concerns. They know that bugs and glitches are a major sticking point. They're doing everything they can. Yes, there are astronomical amount of bugs and glitches. We know this. But the fact that they are addressing it and the fact that they are taking the time to really review our concerns and our complaints is important. So for that, I gotta give it out to them. You know, I gotta applaud them on that, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. So here's an applause for the Sims team. All right, and you know what? Deservingly so, because you know they've had a lot to deal with last year or so, and I really do think that it's even going to get tougher for them as time goes on. Now, the other thing I want to address is there's been a lot of leaks about this pack leaking and that pack leaking and whatever. And I think we just need to take everything with a grain of salt. We don't know what's coming. Could this be the last year of The Sims? Very much so. It could be. It really could be. But I do think that if and when that happens, we will be told. They will come out and say, you know what? This is the last year of The Sims, guys. We're not making any more packs. I personally don't think that is the case. I personally do think they have some content they definitely want to develop for us. They may be concentrating on the two new standalones, Renee and X, as it's being referred to. And if that's the case, great. Allegedly, let's say. We will say allegedly, not truthfully. But we don't know. We honestly don't know. Do you work for EA? No. Do I work for EA? No. So we don't know what they are doing. And even the naysayers who claim that they have the inside information from this leaker or that leaker, you don't know what's going on either. You may think you have the proper information, but you may not. You may be played. You don't know that. So, I mean, the whole thing is we will not know until the official word from the Sims team is released. And that is the word that I'm going by. Not by some leaker, not by some alleged statement. No. If the only reason why that's being printed right now is because that's newsworthy and that gets clicks and people are going to be like, ooh, what did this leaker say? So right now I'm going to say that take it with a grain of salt, really, because you don't know what's coming down the pike. And the best thing to do is really just to keep informed, stay tuned to the official channels, not to someone who claims to know what the truth is. Stick with the people that do know what the truth is. And that includes me. I mean, I get stuff wrong all the time. But I've gotten a lot of stuff right. In fact, I got a badge on the EA forums that basically says you're good at figuring out our secrets. It's the bug. I think it's the secret finder or something. So yeah, I'm proud of that one. I'm really proud of that one. So that is what we are talking about when it comes to the Sims news. I'm looking forward to this update on Tuesday. We will follow up with you on the next episode of Sunday Morning Coffee Talk. And I got great news! Great news! I can't wait to share this with you. And that news is that KT and I are going to be back this Friday for Friday Night Live at 8:15 p.m. Eastern. So, yeah, I'm really excited to be hanging out with my buddy KT, talking about Sim stuff, hanging out with you, having a great time. So get ready. Bring your favorite drink with you. Friday Night Live is coming back this Friday. Cannot wait. And that date is, just to let you know, Friday, March 20th, which is also the first official day of the spring equinox. That's right, spring is officially here on March 20th at 10:48 Eastern Time. So now, let's talk about what's going on GXSimmer channel. I am really happy to say that on Wednesday, March 18th, in the 8 p.m. time slot that belongs to Nina and Amanda, we will be premiering the first episode of Lea and Javi Selvadorada Adventures. Well, actually, as it's being called, Lea and Javi's Selvadorada Adventures. So the first episode is going up on Wednesday. I thought it came out really, really great. It had a little mess up. And in fact, the title of the episode is She's a Skeleton. So I hope that you enjoy that episode. And we're going to follow Lea and Javi as they travel to Selvadorada and throughout the Sims worlds to see what they come out with. And this will be in place until Nina and Amanda come back in October. And the other piece of information is I ran a poll on the GXSimmer channel to basically get your opinion about whether or not we should have another season of 6, now called 6 Young Adults. And I was very happy to see this. And I'm going to put this up on the screen right now so you can see what I'm seeing. 100% of you who voted, and on Twitter as well, I think there were all 2 or 3 of you that voted, want to see season 2 of 5, well now 6 Young Adults. And I can tell you definitively, without a doubt, 6 Young Adults will be back for season 2. So get ready for Claire, Mateo, and their 6 young adults as we get ready to navigate life and torture me in the process. So yes, 6 young adults will be coming back this spring and summer. Probably going to launch it around middle of May, maybe around Memorial Day weekend. We'll see. And we will have the first episode for season 1 very shortly. And of course, I'm also going to be giving you some sneak peeks into season 4 of Nina and Amanda. And if you know what I was talking about with SixMCC's new mod, that's an indication of what's coming up on season 4. And honestly, I can tell you that one thing you already know is that I have the script for seasons 4 and 5 done, pretty much. So the only thing I need to do is record it and shoot it. Record it meaning the audio, and then shoot it, the video. So season 4, in my opinion, is going to be a season of extreme change. I'm just going to say that. Okay, a season of extreme change. And on Patreon, later on today, I'm going to show some exclusive screenshots for season 4. So if you want to be a season 4, if you want to be a GXR2 member or GXR1, it's going to be available for 1 or 2. I'm going to make it available for either one. Hop onto my Patreon. Link is down in the description. I'll be happy to share that with you. I can't wait to share that with you. And I will also be releasing early access 3 days early for Lea and Javi Selvadorada Adventures on GXR2. So, yes, I'm really excited to share that with you as well. So, as I'm looking at the clock, I was thinking about doing maybe a 2 or 3 hour podcast today, but I don't think I'm going to do that today because we've been on for about an hour already, and I really wanted to get into the news and discuss that more so, because Coffee Talk is really about anything that comes to mind. And we have addressed the main topics of today, which was laundry list, leakers, and the marketplace. And that was my goal for today. I really wanted to talk about the upcoming laundry list. I'm glad to see the fixes that have been employed. I'm glad to see the way the marketplace is being presented. My bottom line on that is I am in favor of it. I think it's a great way for content creators to market their content and have it officially in game. And also, the thing is with kits sometimes is when you buy them, you you need to use just one code per order. With this, whenever you buy a kit, you could buy a SimCC kit and then a little Bob kit and then a Symbolette kit. All of that goes to the creators. So it's now no longer switching it up between, oh, I want to use their promo code or their promo code or their promo code. You'll still be able to do that, but you will also be able to now purchase these specific pieces of content and have them go directly to the makers. And also, you're still going to be able to get their content online. And this is actually a good thing, whether you guys realize it or not. Even the negative simmers, I'm going to call them out for a second and say to them directly, this is a good thing, whether you realize it or not. I know you have a view of, what your view is, but you really need to look at both sides here and see logically that this can only benefit players. And even though there are some content creators that have said, well, I was offered it, but I didn't like the terms of the contract and blah, 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 blah. That is their opinion. And I respect their opinion. And again, I didn't mean to seem like I was mocking them. And so I apologize if, I just seemed like I was. But that is their opinion. They're allowed to have that opinion. And I respect that. Just as I respect the creators who are in the marketplace, and I will continue to support those people because I like their content and I think their content is phenomenal. So, in that respect, I do believe that is going to do it for this episode of Sunday Morning Coffee Talk. Yeah, I know, it was just an hour today. But you know what? I've got a lot of things I got to get done today, and going on for longer than 2 hours doesn't seem to, be the thing that we are going to do today, unless somebody decides to talk and we have a conversation going, which would be nice. So that's, I think, is where we're going to leave off for today. And again, I would just like to say thank you for joining me today for this edition of Sunday Morning Coffee Talk, episode 9. You can always catch us every Sunday, unless otherwise posted, at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Next week, we will be back. We're going to talk about the marketplace, explore it a little bit more, and we may also do some simming, too, if we are so inclined. But today, I really got to get stuff done, so I got to cut this short. And I just want to say thank you for helping this little channel to grow. Every day this channel is growing. It's all because of you, and I thank you profusely. Big shout out to my Patreon supporters, especially Just Among Sims. Check out her channel. It's awesome. And check out her live show tonight going on 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern Time. It's great time. Also check out Lea Sims' channel. She is so close to hitting 1,000. Get on her channel. It's really great. The name of her channel, I believe, is Lea, and she is actually live now. So until next time, this is Jen, the GXSimmer, hoping that you have a terrific day or night. And if you want to be a Patreon supporter, remember, link is down in the description. We'd love to have you. So we'll see you next time on Sunday Morning Coffee Talk. Take care. Bye-bye.